there, and welcome to U.S. History. I know you're starting the class midway through the semester, so there's a few things I wanted to go through with you to make sure that you start off successfully. So first of all, I have this PowerPoint. I'm also going to send this to you, but I want to go through it with you as well. It's going to go over how to access things, how it works, and tips and ideas. Okay, so where to start? First thing, the website you need to go to every day when you log into your classes is www.mnva.us. And from there you'll click on the LMS/OLS login in the middle of the page. You'll be directed to the page that looks like this below, and then you'll use in your student account information. And make sure you've set up your student account, that you're not using your parent account, your Learning Coach account to log in, that you've set up your own student account. From there, this is similar to what your main student page will look like, and you'll see how you can access your courses through the set of links there on the left side. Number one piece of advice, check your K-mail. That's our version of email and how most of your teachers will communicate with you and get their messages and information out to you, and how you will communicate back to your teachers. This is the first thing you should do when you log into your main student page every day. Get into the habit of checking it daily or several times a day. And you will send emails to your teachers this way too. How do you check your K-mail? Well, let's look. Back to that main page when you first logged in, there is Student Home, and then there's a K-mail tab. So you'll click on that, and it'll look like this. Check your inbox every day. New emails will be bold, and you'll click on it to read. It's very similar to a Hotmail or a Gmail account that you probably are familiar with. If you want to write a new email to your teacher, advisor, or principal, whomever, you'll click on New K-mail. And you can even set up tags if you want to find people's email information more quickly. If there are tags, you can set those up. Oh, I'm skipping around here a little bit. Sorry about that. Number two piece of advice, attend live Class Connect sessions. These are like, if you were in a traditional school, this would be like going to class every day, where your teachers will work with a group of students over the day's lesson. They're extremely important. We'll go over quizzes, tests, labs, discussions, test reviews. Usually something gets done in those classes. And you get to meet and interact with your fellow classmates and me, of course. How do you attend a Class Connect? As we call them, usually CCs for short. Let's look on the next slide. And right below your K-mail button is the Class Connect tab. Click on Class Connect, a new window will pop up, and you'll be able to log into what Class Connect you have scheduled for that day. And when you log into Class Connect, it's through a function called Blackboard Collaborate. And some of the features of Blackboard are as follow. Here's where you'll see your webcam or audio box. This is where you can use your microphone or webcam. Don't worry about the webcam. It's very, very, very rare that a student would have to use their webcam, so don't be afraid about that. Here is the participants box, who's in the CC and what are they doing. The names will show during class. But down here is the chat box, so you can communicate through class through texting. And this middle part here is the main screen or the whiteboard, and where we'll have PowerPoints and your virtual activities. If you need to type on the board, that's how you will do it here on the whiteboard. Other basic interactive features that you'll find in Blackboard. Here's the talk button. So when you want to talk, you'll click on the talk button, and then when you're done talking, unclick it. Lots of times the teacher will ask, can you hear me, or do you agree? Please give me a smiley face, and it's from this button here on the left, the smiley face button. If they ask you to raise your hand, it's the raise your hand, the hand button there, the third one over. This A, B, C, D, in case you're going through an activity or going through some questions and you have to give a multiple choice response, that's how you'll give it there. Or sometimes we'll change that box and say true or false or yes or no, and it'll look like with a check mark instead, and you'll give their response that way. Like I said, here's the microphone box where it says talk, and that's where you press to talk. This is an old Class Connect schedule, so disregard this, but you'll see when your class connects are scheduled, and you can make your own little table, and it's a good idea to print it out and have that handy so you can remember when your class connects are. Number 3 piece of advice, log into each of your classes every day. Make sure you complete the daily work. Do not fall behind. It can be tough to catch up. Yes, if you do catch up, you have nights, you have weekends, yes, you can work on it, but when you get to be more than a day or two behind, it can be kind of frightening to catch up. So how do you log into each course? This is where you log in. You click into the class you're going to start with. So let's say you want to start with English. Click on English. You want to start with Earth Science, click on Earth Science. And it also may want to correspond with your class connect time. So if you're going to have English class connect at 9 in the morning, you might want to start that class out that first part of the day. This is an Earth Science class. Just things to look at here. It's going to be very similar for most of your other classes. The announcements are right there in the middle. Check those often. Most teachers will put up a new announcement weekly. Content items, sorry, this got kind of jazzed, I don't know why. But content, the units, it'll show there. That's where you click on each unit, and a weekly schedule in that as well. I post recordings of our Class Connects and announcements. There's an announcement that says Class Connect recordings, so if you can't attend live, you always have recordings to go back to. If you miss class, please click the link for the day you missed, watch recording, and email me with any questions you might have. Dropbox are used for Part 2 exams or graded assignments, and you'll find it under this tab here where it says Dropbox. And to use the Dropbox, you click on that Dropbox tab, then you go to Submit Assignment. From there you find the right basket, and what that means is it'll be the name of the assignment you're turning in. So for example, this one here says if it's the 1.5 Part 2 exam, you would find that basket from the drop-down menu. If you have any comments, write them in the box. Click here to add an attachment. Save your exams or study sheets or assignments and files you remember or on the desktop, so finding them is easy. And then when you're ready to submit, you click Submit Assignment to send it off to me. Get in the habit of checking your gradebook as well, and that's from the Gradebook tab. And all your assignments for the semester will be listed out there, and it should be easy for you to find and follow through and know what your grade is at all times. My number 4 piece of advice is download Skype. It's free as long as you choose the free version. It's a quick, easy way to contact your teachers during the school day. You just set up a username and password and start adding contacts. You can start with me. My username is Becky.Carr1. You're not required to use Skype, and please check with your parents or guardians if that's okay to install that on your computer. Lots of students will use it just for school. If you do have Skype already as a personal account, please, I would recommend setting up a school account or really set parameters for school contacts and when you will contact them, and personal contacts and when you will be connecting with personal contacts. Don't let them interfere with your school day. Okay, let's look at the U.S. History class a little bit. Where you're going to start with as a March start is you're going to start with Unit 3. I will be sending out an assignment that I will want you to complete to go through Units 1 and 2, but when you start on Monday, you will start with Unit 3, Lesson 3.01, called the Bubble Burst. And you'll see each day you'll have a daily checklist of what to do. So you'll go through the daily checklist here. You'll go through the daily checklist here. The same information is included under the class announcements of what you should do each day. And please note where to find your reading guides, because it says complete the reading guide. Those aren't submitted to your teacher. However, they're great notes for your own benefit, and you'll find them under the Lesson Resources tab. You'll find a reading guide, and those will be notes that you take on the reading, and then you also will have the lesson answer key, which gives you the same reading guide with the answers provided, so you can make sure that you're checking that you're getting the right answers. So you'll go through the reading, complete the reading guide. Sometimes there might be another activity to complete further in the lesson, which would be this one here. You'll follow the prompts for that, go through the whole exercise, and then at the end you complete the checkpoint. So you click on 301 checkpoint, and when you're ready to begin, you complete that checkpoint, which is a short quiz. But make sure you've gone through all the parts in the lesson first, including the online activity, because occasionally at the completion of these online activities like the dollar drops, you might be given a keyword that you'll need to put into the checkpoint. So make sure you go through all the parts of the lesson before you begin the checkpoint or the quiz or whatever is the submitted assignment or activity for the day. One other piece of advice, I oftentimes hear, well, I don't have my textbook yet, I can't start in class. There is an online textbook that you can also use while you're waiting for your hardcover textbook. If you go here to Course Home, you click on American Odyssey, and then it says please click here to access American Odyssey. That's going to give you the online version of your textbook. So let's say you want to, here's the cover of it. Let's say you want to go to page 696. You type that in, click that go to page icon, and here's where you start. And that was just an example page. That's not the page you're going to start with. I'm just using that as an example. Okay. What else? Also, a few things under Course Home that you should be aware about. Calendar. Here is the calendar for the whole class, so you will be able, another place to see what you should be doing every day. As you can see, you're starting here on Monday the 9th, but their first assignment's not due till Wednesday with 301 checkpoint. So these first 2 days, the 9th and the 10th, I would encourage you to use those 2 days while you're waiting, or you can begin with Unit 3, but I also would like you to work on your chapter review questions that I'll be sending you to review chapters 1 and 2, or units 1 and 2 that you missed here from the early part of the semester, because those will be due coming up soon. So you have that information, and you've gone through that prior content, so you have that for the final exam and for state standards. So that is the U.S. History course in a real quick nutshell. If you have any questions, please contact your teacher, and best of luck.